Hey guys, as you can tell by the title, this week's video is all about how many pages I realistically read in a week, specifically Monday to Friday, as I work a full-time 9 to 5 job. And trust me, this video is very realistic. Wednesday is when I started recording most of the footage for this vlog, but we're starting off with some clips that I was able to gather from Monday and Tuesday. Monday was definitely a better reading day than Tuesday, but overall, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rayma. This week I decided that I wanted to do the how many pages I realistically read in a week challenge. I do work a 9 to 5. I work remotely though, so I'm at home. Some weeks are busier than others. Really, my tasks vary from day to day, so that does have a bearing on how much I read. And honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to record this week, and I thought that this would be a good way for me to gauge how much I'm reading, because I always assume that I don't read that much. Currently, it's Wednesday, May 14th, and yes, it's the middle of the week, but I have already been calculating or recording how much I've read. So Monday, I read 51 pages actually, which was a surprise to me. However, it evened out on Tuesday with my expectations because I didn't read it all on Tuesday, and I don't regret it either. I didn't feel like reading. I just wasn't in the mood for it. I am enjoying this book. I'm reading Deacon King Kong, but I just didn't feel like reading Tuesday. Instead, after work, I watched Forever on Netflix, listened to some music on my iPad, get on Pinterest. So no reading was done yesterday. I have read a bit today. I haven't filmed it, but I've read, I don't know how many pages I've read yet, but I have read today. I read 2 chapters. So yeah, we'll see where I'm at by the end of the day. But yeah, so that's what we're doing this weekend. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, see how much I realistically read. And again, I'm not somebody, I don't read multiple books at a time. I'm kind of trying to become the type of person that I just go with the flow of how I'm feeling. If I'm in a book slump or if I don't feel like reading, I think that those are things that we should honor and not force ourselves to do. So yesterday I didn't feel like reading, I didn't do it. So I do think that this is a very realistic view into my reading habits. But okay, talk soon. Hey guys, it's the next day. I never know what day it is. It's Thursday, May, one second. It's Thursday, May 15th, and hopefully the quality of the video at this point has not gone down too much. I did not charge the battery for the camera that I normally record on. I'm using my phone right now. So yeah, if you notice a change in quality, that's the reason. But anyway, I'm here because I wanted to give you guys a reading update for Deacon King Kong. Yesterday, I read 45 pages. I have not read anything yet today, and I just got off work like maybe 10 minutes ago. So I do plan on reading this evening, and we'll see how many pages I'm able to get in. But I also don't think that I've given you guys a lot of information about this book beyond the synopsis. So with me being on page 240 at this point, I should be able to tell you something more. And what I will say is that if you've seen my other videos, you know the premise, so I won't go over that again, or maybe I should, because I think a good booktuber would do that. Basically, in this book, it centers around this elderly, I wouldn't call him elderly because he's the same age as my mom and she's young to me, but this older man, he's 71 years old. They call him Sport Coat. This is September 1969 in the projects in New York City, and he goes up to the projects like major drug dealer and shoots him at point blank range. Nobody knows why he did it. He's not even sure why he did it. Honestly, he can't remember that he oh Nala. Honestly, he can't remember that he did it because he was drunk at the time. He's like a drunk. He drinks a lot, but he's a very happy drunk. And so the book, I would describe it as, it's not a whodunit, it's a whydunit. People want to know what his intentions were, but nobody really knows. But the book itself is less about the shooting, because we still don't really have answers about that. I mean, it could just be something that he did on a whim. Who knows why, what reasoning was in his head. But it's more so about, like, I feel like how all of our lives are linked, because there are so many people involved. Like, there, you know, if you've seen any sort of drug show like Snowfall or Power, you know that there's levels to it. Like, the person you see slinging dope on the corner is not the end all be all. There's like a whole hierarchy to the thing. So the person that he shot is connected to all these other people, and you start getting like their stories in the book, because that's one thing that I like how it's narrated. The narrator is kind of omniscient, whatever word means, that they're everywhere and they know everything. It's not like from one character's perspective or another's. It's just that the narration is just you know everybody's inner thoughts and how they feel. So you just get all of this background about all these different people, even insects. Like, there's a whole chapter on ants and how these ants that got here somehow from some country. There's a whole story about how that happened and how now every year they do the March of the Ants to get food from this project area. It's like how all of these things that you wouldn't even know are connected. And there's one point specifically where the book starts talking about how while Sport Coat was over here chilling with his friend, like in New York City, all these things are going on at the same time. I think they're like historical events. I hope I'm not doing a bad job by not explaining what those events were, because I don't remember. But to me, the book is really all about how we are all connected and we're all humans having very human experiences. And it's not so straightforward. If you're somebody who prefers a book that the plot is just very straightforward and you're not going down all these rabbit holes of people's lives, this might not be the book for you. But if you are somebody that would enjoy things like that, kind of seeing the bigger picture of it all and not just focusing on this one event, then you might enjoy this. I am enjoying it. At first I thought it would be a 5-star read, but I'm kind of, for something to be it's a really good book, I will say that. But for something to be a 5-star read, for me, I have to not want to put it down. And if I do put it down, feel the urge to keep coming back to it. And while I do want to keep coming back to it, it's just not the most strong urge. Like Tuesday, I didn't read at all. So that could be for a multitude of things, like just didn't feel like it. But also, I feel like when a book is that good, you want to keep reading it regardless of what's going on around you sometimes. So yeah, I'm thinking that it might be like a 4 to 4.5 star, but I'm still enjoying it, and we will get to this a little bit later. It's Friday, May 16th, and I know it's May 16th because I checked the date before recording this video. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm anticipating reading 0 pages today. It's 6:42 p.m. if my clock is right. I don't think that's right. I think it's like 5:42. But it's Friday. I'm off. And I feel very inclined to get a Happy Eddie, if you know what I mean, to bite on a little Happy Eddie and get some good food and watch some of my favorite YouTubers and just relax for the rest of the evening. Not that reading isn't relaxing, quite the opposite, it's very relaxing. But when I do my little Happy Eddies, I tend to not read because I'm not sure that I'm going to retain the information. So I don't know, I may read, I may not read. Sometimes when I'm like that, I do, but I don't know, I may not. So I'm anticipating reading 0 pages, but what's more important, or what's most important, is that I finish Deacon King Kong by Sunday, or at least on Monday, so that I can start the next book on Monday, because I really want to get through my entire May TBR in May, because June and July I have some plans for myself in terms of reading that I really don't want this month to, that I do not want this month to like bleed into. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens, you guys. This is a very realistic like reading vlog, or a very realistic how many pages I read in a week. As you can see, at this moment I am not one of those people who reads like 100+ pages a day, and if I'm not feeling it, like I wasn't on Tuesday, I believe that was, I'm not gonna do it. So hopefully, you know, if you're somebody who reads a lot, great, like that's wonderful, honestly. But if you're not, I hope this serves as something that makes you feel good. Like, you don't have to read that much. Like, if you only get through 1 book a month, I think that's fine. I think that's great. If you get through maybe 6 books a year, if you pick up a book and it takes you a long time to read it, basically, I think that it's all valid, it's all good. We're all different. And the way I read now is not how I used to read when I was younger. And I'm not going to force myself to try to get back to that. So I'm coming up to the window and I'm talking to this phone, and this is kind of awkward. So I'm going to stop this now. It's the next day, Saturday, May 17th, and it feels like a Saturday. Last night, I only read 5 pages because, as I told y'all, I took my little happy gummy and I had a wonderful evening. Towards the end of the evening, I attempted to read a little bit and I was able to. So I did that, but it was only about 5 pages before I got super sleepy and went to bed. But I'm not tripping over it. It is 2:33 p.m. now, and it's just been a beautiful day. I woke up this morning and I was not in a rush. I was in the bed watching cozy content on YouTube, and for a couple, like maybe an hour or two, and then my mom, she called, and I hadn't spoken to her since Mother's Day, so it was nice to talk to her after this week. And yeah, then I started cleaning up my office / hobby room and just got myself together, did some things that I've been needing to do, cleaning up my space, which really makes me feel even better. But yeah, it's Saturday. I really only intended for this video to be like Monday through Friday in terms of me tracking how many pages I read, because I work a full-time job Monday through Friday, and so I wanted to get a realistic sense. And honestly, I kind of feel like, it's not that I did bad, but I feel like normally it's a little better than this. Like, I would say because I track like the days that I read on Fable, so there have been times where I've had like good reading streaks back to back, at least reading 20 pages a day, 20 maybe 40, 20 to 40 maybe. And this time there were whole days where I just didn't feel like reading, but it'd be like that sometimes. That's just life. So currently, I woke up this morning and I read a little bit more right before me and my mom talked. And I'm on page 270, and there are 370 pages in the book. So I have 100 pages to go. Later this evening and definitely tomorrow, I'm going to read some more, try to get as far as I can, so that on or by Monday, I'm finished with this book, so then I can start, where is it? A Love Song for Ricky Wilde, which I'm very excited about. But I have been enjoying this book a lot. As I said, I initially thought that it was going to be a 5-star read, and it's gone down a bit to 4 stars, really, because it's a pro that the author writes the way I think, in terms of these going on these long tangents and falling down these very interesting rabbit holes about people. But at the same time, I think that's the novel's downfall, because I get distracted in that. Like, I'm getting to a point to where it's getting hard to keep certain things straight because there's so much that's introduced, and that's frustrating to me because I always want to understand everything that I read thoroughly and fully. And when I start feeling like I'm missing very important points or parts of the plot, I get frustrated and it dampens my reading experience. And so it's definitely, I don't think it's going to be below a 4, but I have had a good time reading it. And I also haven't felt, that feeling that I gotta come back to it. I gotta keep coming back to it. It's more of obligation. To me, it's like one of those novels that's just about life. It's kind of how I felt about Grown Women. Some people felt like the pacing was slow, but I felt like the pacing was literally life. Like the highs, the lows, the mundane, the everyday stuff that's kind of boring. This is that. Just kind of to the umpteenth level. And we just learn a lot about the main characters, like Sport Coat and Deems, Hot Sausage. And it's also, if you are black, or if you're a person who's close to black people, and again, black people aren't a monolith, so this could be something they have experienced and it might not be, but in general, because I have, so I'll speak on it. Like the nicknames that people are given, Hot Sausage, Sport Coat, based off of personality characteristics or something that they've done, is so unique, I feel, and very authentic storytelling as it relates to the black community. And I think that's part of why I was drawn to this book. Even though at first glance it's not something that I would have picked up, there are elements of it that remind me of people in my family, people that I know, friends that I have. And in that sense, it's like a hug to see that reflected in a book. It's set in New York. My grandparents were part of the Great Migration. Like, they left the South and then they went up north. And so I have some ties to New York, and my mom is very familiar with that place. My brother was born there. I lived there for a year. Things about the projects, like poverty, having friends or knowing people or having family members who are very dependent on alcohol or drugs, like, unfortunately, these are things that a lot of us in our community are familiar with and we know about. So reading it, and then reading it in this light, it's almost funny. You forget that these people are having a terrible time. Like, they are living in the projects, they're living in poverty. Like, my window is open right now and they're talking about having toilets that don't work, stoves that don't cook, windows that don't open, and I'm sitting here listening to the birds chirp and the wind rustling through the leaves on the trees, and I'm thinking to myself, like, that's one of my favorite features of my home. I own a home. So the fact that the book is set in that sort of environment, but for most of it you're actually having a positive experience that's not trauma filled, is amazing to me. It's getting to the point to where you're starting to see how, okay, this is a lot of heaviness that people are dealing with every day, and it brought me back to reality a little bit. But I do appreciate how this was written, and I love Deacon, I love Sport Coat, because even though, let's see, this is on the back before I say it, he has some qualities about himself that you'll learn in the book, but even in his like situation and how he copes with the day-to-day in life, his outlook on life is very inspiring, and that he's happy. There's a lot of people who have so much more and they're not happy. There's a lot of people who have a lot less and they're not happy. But him, I aspire to be like him in that way. I hope that gives you guys an idea of what the book is about. I don't know if up to this point, I haven't started editing the video yet, but I'm about to. I don't know if up until this point I've done a really good job of explaining it to you, but I really hope that gave you something, and I'm going to end the video right here. Yeah, if you made it to this point, drop an alcoholic beverage emoji in the comments in honor of Sport Coat, aka Deacon King Kong. And yeah, all right, this is so awkward filming an outro. Oh my gosh, intros are a lot easier. Not really, it's all, the easiest part is in the middle. But yeah, I'm just gonna end it here because I'm rambling. But thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for all of you who've been doing that. It really means a lot, and it's helping me a lot too. I appreciate you so much. Bye. Until next time.